been a long time since I've been at the airport this early. I used to be so used to this. We used to, you know, have flights at 6 o'clock in the morning just so we can get to our destination on time and then give us enough time to drive from the airport to the school, which is sometimes 2 hours away, 3 hours away, because the school is in the middle of nowhere and it's far from a major airport. It's kind of fun. I've missed being able to do this ever since COVID hit and, all of our shows were kind of taken away. There's a really weird feeling right now about knowing that I'm actually going to a college and performing. I know it's not going to be the same kind of show. I'm sure it's going to be socially distanced and they may only let a few people watch, but that's okay. I just am glad to be back sort of on the road. I just have to make sure I take a lot of preventative measures. Matter of fact, here at the airport, I went and sat somewhere where there's like no one around. That way I can take my mask off and do this thing. But it doesn't really matter much because the airport is pretty dead right now. Like, there's no one here, no one's traveling. It's just the way it is. The world's changing, and we're all just still trying to get used to this new world that we're in, right? So, made it to Fort Wayne, Indiana. There's really nothing out here, man. It's just farmland and stuff. And it's a lot colder than I anticipated. The sun is out, it's hot, but it's kind of windy. But this is typical of my college shows, which is just like kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. There's really nothing much here except maybe the college. I don't even see any big buildings or anything. And I always like places like this sometimes though for college shows because you know that there's nothing to do. So students tend to come out more to watch shows like mine. When you go to a big city, a lot of times there's just so much to do, especially on a weekend like a Friday, like right now, that no one comes and watches the show because there's other things to do. But when you go to stuff like this, sometimes there's nothing else to do in town, so people come and they come and watch the show. So here we are. So after a whole days of traveling, finally made it to the hotel. This one's actually a nice hotel. We don't always usually get nice hotels like this, but they put me in downtown Hilton, which is pretty cool. It's nice. I do miss traveling with my brother-in-law though, because normally this is the part where we just come in, settle in, go get some food, which is what I'm going to do right now. But it's kind of lonely to just be touring on my own. For many years it was me and him. He was, playing the guitar and I would do the poetry, and with college budgets being cut, we decided to try to have me go at this alone and do my poetry by myself like I used to do when I first started my career. So it's a little bit of a adjustment because I used to tour by myself, and then sometime in 2009 I brought him on board and we toured together up until 2018. So 9 years we toured together. Now I'm back to being on my own again. But hopefully things will pick up again, and where we can charge our full price the way we used to, and I can start bringing him on tour again. Kind of lonely and quiet. I kind of miss my family. Thank God it's only a one-day show, right? I mean, why am I complaining? It's not like I'm on the road for 2 weeks. It's one night, and I'll be back home tomorrow and get to see them again. I'm gonna go get some food because I am starving, and then I'm gonna get in bed and take a nap until the show because there's nothing else really to do after I eat.
Hi, may I take your order?
Yeah, can I get a Whopper with cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes? And
A Whopper with cheese?
yeah, no pickles, no tomatoes. And can I get that with onion rings?
A small, medium, or large?
Medium's fine.
Anything else?
That's it.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you. So one of the things that kind of sucks about touring, I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's bad for me now, which is I have to rely on fast food or whatever is around. I mean, sometimes I'll go and find a nice little spot that, you know, that locals go to or whatever. I'll try to get food from there. But I'm so hungry and I'm sleepy and I just have to get whatever I can right now so I can go back and take a nap. You know, ever since COVID, I've been cooking at home, eating a little bit healthier. It's been nice, you know, kind of just preparing your own meals and stuff. And now that I'm on the road, I don't have the luxury of doing that. I just want to eat and take a nap because I am old. And the show will be in a few hours, so I probably can get in a couple hours nap, you know, because I've been up since 4 a.m., you know, going to the airport. Fell asleep on the plane, but that's never a comfortable sleep. Like, my neck hurts, my back hurts, like, you know. And we used to be able to do this every day when we were touring. Every day we would be, you know, on the airplane and falling asleep on planes and eating junk food, and I don't know how my body survived it, but I guess after being out for a few months, you are realizing just how much you put your body through when you were touring heavy, you know? But here I am. Like I said, it's only one day, so it's not really too bad, and yeah. So I just got here to campus. I'm actually performing outside. Usually we have an indoor space, but because of COVID and everything like that, I'm gonna have to perform outside. But it should be okay as long as it's not too loud and crazy out there. With the times the way they are now with COVID and everything, and we're trying to space everything out and not have people too close to each other in a confined space, I think outside is just fine. So I think it'll be a good show. I think I'm gonna have a good time because I haven't performed in front of a crowd in a long time, so I want to have fun regardless of how this goes down tonight, you know. Check 1 2 1 2. How do I make it like louder and stuff too? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. You can go up a little bit. 1 2 1 2. There you go, like right there.
Since 2009, Asa Sampson has toured and performed his poetry at over 800 colleges. He has been seen on HBO Deaf Poetry and has shared the stage with such acts such as Janelle Monáe, Jill Scott, Mos Def, Dead Prez, DMX, and KRS-One. He's been featured by TEDx, Button Poetry, So Far Sounds, and NPR's Tiny Desk Contest. He currently holds the record for the highest booked poetry act in the college market, winning the awards of the APCA Performer of the Year, and 3 times the APCA Spoken Word Artist of the Year. Please give a round of applause to Asia.
So think back to when you were a child, all right? And on the count of 3, I want you to yell out what you wanted to be when you grew up. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
So I just finished my show at Indiana Tech. It was an awesome show. It was great. I actually had my reservations about it because anytime you hear you're going to do an outdoor show, it's always a little bit weird for poetry, right? There's always possibilities of so many distractions, cars and people walking and talking. And matter of fact, right before my show started, the dorm that was next door, they were blaring music from the upper levels, and they were yelling out and stuff, and I was just like, oh man, this is gonna go horribly. But they actually made an announcement on the microphone and was telling them, everybody please turn the music off or whatever, we're about to have a show down here, and they were gracious and did it. And that turned off, and then no one was really walking around anymore because it was cold outside and it was nighttime. So it was actually a good environment. It felt very intimate. I also didn't have that many people at my shows. They are limiting the amount of people that can watch because of COVID. Everybody was masked up, so they did a really good job in making sure everybody was safe. But that's also why I like to say 3,000 or 3. It's not really about the quantity of people that are there. The quality that I had was amazing. They were so open and they were laughing at the jokes, and they were just reacting, and then they came and talked to me afterwards. You just never know, right? Because I've had shows where there's 500 people in the room and no one's paying attention. Here I had 10 and they were all engaged. So really it's all about the connection. They reminded me of how much I love doing this, especially since COVID. I've been doing a lot of virtual shows, which I'm very thankful for. I love doing virtual shows. But I've also missed just being in person, in front of people and feeling the energy in the room. You can't really do that with virtual, but in person you can read the room and give the room what it needs, and that's what I loved about tonight. And they were so gracious too in helping me work out the rust, because I screwed up my poems a few times, fumbled my words, because it's been a while since I performed in front of a live audience. And here's a pro tip: if you mess up, just keep going. No one knows that you messed up. You can do a lot of things to kind of hide it, right? No one knows your poems but you, so you can just stop in the middle of the poem, make a couple of jokes or whatever, pretend that you got caught off guard, and then just roll right back into the poem, and no one will even know what they'll think that you did that on purpose. So thank you, Indiana Tech, for having me and for allowing me to have a first show that turned out as great as this was. That's it. That's the vlog for this week. Just wanted to kind of take you guys with me on this one show that I had to start off this tour. Tomorrow I get to sleep in because I don't have to be at the airport until 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'll sleep in a little bit and then fly home, and I get to see my son and my wife. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me and coming along with me on this trip.